What up, Freddy? Phase Glock was good. Always the first one to hop in these streams now. Low key. Yeah. At this point, I feel like the OGs for the YouTube streams, like the true like people that are just always in the streams, right now, is Freddy, Evil, and Scoot. Actually, that person Fluff, and also Star. All those I remember as just like people that have been recently in the stream. So yeah, guys, I've been watching a lot of brain rot recently. Lots of fucking brain rot recently. Lots of my like, and it's also my like niche like brain rot. You know what I mean? Like picture it this way. Like all the shit that I talk about, like picture the brain rotted version of that. That's what I've been watching, okay? So, it's like it has that certain extent of value to it because it's so niche, but because it's also so brain rot, it's rotting my brain. So I'm just like the way I'm talking, like the words I'm using recently have been so like I've used the word ascend, ascending, ascension so much. Like I started using it, I heard it, I'm just like I like it, and now I'm starting to use it all the time. Someone said I am your dad. Okay. There's a couple words I've been using a lot. Optics, motion, and what was that last one I just said? Ascension. Optics, motion, and ascension. Those words I've been using hella lately. Because they just work, bro. They literally just work. Sup, what up, Hammy? Are you the type of person to say I'm escaping the system? Yes. I am that person. I'm the type of person to say that I'm fucking escaping the Matrix. Like, I don't want to say it like, you know, how everyone else says it, but that's literally what I'm trying to fucking do. I'm trying to escape this fucking rat race of being a human being that has a mediocre life, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in a pretty average... Fuck is that noise? Pretty average house. You know what I mean? Like, nah. Like, it's just right now, like, on paper at least, it looks like my lifestyle is pretty, you know, average. But it's not. Okay, at all. There's nothing average about it. But on paper, it could look that way. When you just base off house and, you know, school maybe and car. Yeah. But truth is, all these things are going to get better and better and better. Because again, we are going to ascend in everything. Money, status, looks. We're looks maxing. We're status maxing. We're, you know, Chad maxing. We're doing everything. See, I've been using maxing a lot too. I've been using the word maxing a lot. You know what I mean? We're looks maxing. We're looks maxing very, very hard. I think I'm going to take the whole looks maxing thing to a whole nother level. Like, I think I took my, like, feet dipped in the water a little bit with looks maxing. And now it's like, it's time to really fucking ascend and go fucking ham and see how far I could take it. Like, just why not, you know? I've been watching, okay, so here's what happened. I'm eating right now, good shit. I don't know if you guys know this guy named Clav, but he basically liked one of my TikTok videos, and I've seen him all the time, just clips of him constantly. But I, like, never really indulged in watching him too much because, like, it didn't really resonate with any of my stuff. He was, like, a big peptide steroid abuser guy. But he liked one of my videos, and I was just like, oh, shit, that's fire, low-key. And then I've been watching some of his, like, just pictures on Instagram. I'm like, you know what? He looks so much better. Like, he looks so much better. He looks tanner. He looks leaner. He just looks better. And, like, before I was always like, this guy's a looks maxer, but he's pale. Like, it makes no sense. Now he's tan, so he looked good. So for whatever reason, that just resonated with me. I started watching him more. And I'm starting to watch some of his stuff. And he is, like, so... I disagree with a lot of his ideologies, but he thinks so similar to me, it's, like, kind of weird. And now, unfortunately, it's one of those guys that I'm just watching, and it's just, like, brain rot content, because he has a lot of brain rot content. Like I said, he's a meth head at the end of the day. Like, that's what he does. But he's so interesting, and his ideologies are so, like, interesting to me that, like, it's almost, like, motivating. And to a certain extent, because I'm on the other side of what he talks about, because he's all about, no, fuck natural, like, you gotta look max, hard max, you gotta get jaw surgery, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And to a certain extent, I mean, he was right. He looks a lot better now. Like, he really does, in my opinion. But I still believe you can naturally looks max. They call it soft maxing. I still think these fucking terms are fucking crazy. But I still think I could soft max, right? With the natural primal diet, raw diet, grounding, sun, all that different shit, and still ascend just as much as him. Not just as much, because it's just different there's different avenues of that. But I think, there's specific things that, are an advantage of the natural way, 1,000,000,000%. I think it just gives you a healthier, natural glow while he's just having a bunch of drugs fighting in his body. But, what's funny is, like, he's so calculated about it that I, like, respect his, like, ability to be open, calculated, and, like, transparent. That's the one thing I really fucking respect. Because obviously I'm not like, oh my gosh, I think he's so smart that he puts all these drugs in his body. But I do respect the fact that he's calculated about the decision. He's very logical about it. And he doesn't seem to, like, second guess himself, or he doesn't seem to be like, oh, I don't know if I should do this. He seems very, like, honed in on his thoughts in the way that he, thinks about things, which I kind of like, Now, does this mean you should do what he's doing? Fuck no. I actually advise against it. But I do think it's important to understand how he thinks and then kind of, get your own interpretation of it. What up? I sub. Thank you. What are you talking about? I'm talking about this guy that liked one of my videos, so I started watching him more because I thought he was interesting, and I've already known he's, like, famous, and it's a lot of brain rot, but it's been interesting stuff. And the thing is, he's young, too. But he looks older because he's been taking steroids since he's, like, fucking 14. Like, the dude's low-key a psychopath. But again, that's what happens when you're high test at a young age. Like, you get, like, those kinds of thoughts. Because he's, like, one of the only people that talks about the idea of, like, how to become a smarter human being. And, like, he, like, looks at it such an illogical way. Like, oh, like, this is how you become less, like, he's made a video, like, how I fixed my autism. You know what I mean? Like, some shit like that. Like, it's just, I don't know. There's, like, specific videos that he's made that is just so, like, relatable to me because so many people don't think that way. And then you see in the comments, people are like, this guy's a fucking psychopath. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, clearly, like, this is just, like, a very small percentage of people that think this way. But again, I also do think, people lie to themselves. So he has all feeling you want, but none of the intelligence you want. No, he's intelligent. He's very intelligent. But he just has a completely different prerogative. Prerogative, that's another word I've been using a lot. He just has a completely different prerogative than me. You know what I mean? Like, or just his, his just way of doing things is completely different. He's much more into the idea of, look, like it all comes from the same, like, system, though. It's like they're, like, he literally said in a video, like, they're trying to kill us. They're trying to fuck us up. They're putting all this bullshit in our food and our water. So why not just take testosterone so then you could still eat Popeyes and enjoy your life and still be high test? Like, why do you have to do all this raw milk bullshit, not touch receipts? He, like, doesn't even deny that it doesn't work. He's just saying, like, there's no point of doing all that shit when you can easily just take steroids, get jaw surgery. And I'm just like, there's, like, specific, like parts of this that make a lot of sense. I'm not saying I would ever do it because I think it's dumb. I think it's dumb to get jaw surgery. I think it's dumb to get leg lengthening surgery. I think it's dumb to get all these different things. But it's very interesting how we literally had the very similar like thoughts, but like got two completely different routes, but for the same goal, like just to look better and feel better. You know what I mean? His intelligence is in putting drugs in his body. That's all I got, honestly. I mean, he is intelligent somehow, but if you got steroids, nothing you say, I'm gonna follow. Yeah, no, I see, and that's where he loses a lot of credibility but the funniest thing is he's transparent about it. Not many people are transparent about steroids. He started taking them when he was 14. So his 14-year-old self, I'm not going to say was the smartest version. Now he's taking it for the rest of his life and he's just like that's what he's going to have to deal with. But the truth is, like, you can have a conversation with the dude or just watch him and be like, this guy's more intelligent than most people. He's able to look at things and logically from a different perspective because it's not like he's like, oh my gosh, raw beef is stupid. Like he's like I understand it, but it's just like if you could take steroids and get there 3 times quicker, why would you not do that? And like that logically on paper makes perfect sense. And he also said that he's so logical about everything. I'm not saying I agree with him. I'm saying he's logical because he's like, the lifestyle of looking good is better than a couple years off your life. I disagree with that. I'd rather live longer than look so fucking, whatever the fuck he wants to look like. But he's come to the realization that's how he thinks. So that's pretty intelligent to be able to be honest with yourself and come to those realizations, even if you disagree with them, because that's what he thinks. He's just like, yeah, if I'm 60, why do I give a fuck about how, like good I am at anything? I don't give a fuck. Like I want to ascend and be the best prime of myself right now. And that is true. So I think to a certain extent, what I'm kind of getting from him is just this like sped up version of you need to ascend, you need to fucking move, you need to get going. But that doesn't mean I'm going to take drugs. It just means that I'm just more in tune with the idea that this is important, this is helping, this is like, it's almost like another person kind of confirming my beliefs to a certain extent about just like ascension in general. Because a lot of people don't do that shit. You know what I mean? A lot of people, like, especially, like, they want to do it with, like, business and red pill shit and, like, course sellers. And I'm so tired of that shit. Because 85% of it's fucking bullshit. That's why. Show your abs? Not right now. You can see them on my YouTube shorts, honestly. They just fucking, they talk about, literally, it's fucking disgusting what they do. They'll go to a apartment in Miami or whatever. They'll go on the balcony. They'll record a video of them wearing some nice stuff, like eating some good food, and they'll just have like conversations about money, being like high ticket sales, day trading. See, if you were to get 5 clients for 5,000, that'd be 25K a month. You'd be making 25K months, but you're so worried. Like they think they're having like these big ass it's all bullshit. You know what I mean? That's why I like this guy, because he's not bullshit. I think that's what I like about him so much, is he just is honest. I think honesty is so rare nowadays that like the second you actually find people on the internet that are honest, like, I feel like I'm pretty honest with my live streams, but I'm not as, like, authentic, or I'm trying to be with my YouTube shorts or YouTube videos. Like, definitely, with my YouTube videos, I think I'm more authentic. I think with my YouTube shorts, I'm probably, like, because I, like, want, like, to make the clip a little bit. But I think, well, when I clip my YouTube videos into my shorts, then it's authentic, because it's, like, a YouTube video. But, like, I fiend for realness. I fiend for authenticity. So for me personally, I just think I enjoy watching someone that's so authentic. I just think my brain just resonates with that in a way that like a lot of people probably wouldn't understand, because they're not honest with themselves, or they like, I notice a lot of people. Okay, here's what I notice about his comment section too. A lot of people act like his conversations are very immature. They're like, oh, I need to get off the internet. And I'm even doing the same thing to a certain extent. I'm like, oh, it's such brain rot. But the truth is, he says it too. That's honestly just a coping mechanism. He says that's cope because he talks like a fucking robot. But he's like that's literally a coping mechanism because he talks about such brutal truths on his channel, and people go, I need to get off the internet. Or they're like making jokes about it. But like on the inside, internally, they're like, fuck, these guys are kind of right. and I just don't like that they're right, so I'm gonna just say that this conversation is immature. You know what I mean? Because to a certain extent, the conversation is immature no matter how right it is. That's the issue. It's almost like, guys debating who could beat someone up. It's like it might be an immature conversation, but at the end of the day, on a raw primal level, if it comes down to it and a dude needs to, one or the other is gonna, challenge each other, someone's gonna win. So that's kind of what it is. That's kind of how I see it. That's kind of how he talks. But so many people are so like afraid of the truth that they just deny it or just think that's immature conversation. What does he say? I miss you, broski. So basically, what he talks about is like, um, see, it's not shit I necessarily want to talk about. It's not necessarily shit that I want to even bring to my fans or even have them thinking about necessarily. Like, I enjoy that he talks about it because I enjoy listening to him, and I think that the people that also listen to him should take what he says clearly. But that doesn't mean that I think that, like, I should say what he says because I don't know if it's, like, good for my fan base. Like, my fan base is all about the idea that you make no excuses. And, and his fan base is off the idea that, like, life is extremely unfair and there are specific situations where there's nothing you could do about it, and the situations where you can is extremely difficult and taxing on your life. Now, to a certain extent, on paper, that sounds horrible. Like, why would you listen to someone like that? But logically, when you look at the counterparts of, what these other people are going through, it's like, okay, so you want to be low testosterone, no women, no money, no like corporate job, not treated fairly, or do you want to be, enhanced and have a really good life experience and maybe a little less years? Like, that's not illogical to think that way. Nothing illogical about that. I know it's garbage because you're saying it's garbage, but I want to know you. Okay. No, it's not. It's not garbage. it's just. It's just not like it's just. Oh, God. I'm failing to work hard. Should I get my testosterone tested? Yeah, you should. But also, you probably just have low test. You should just assume you have low test if you don't have energy. And you should actively be trying to get higher testosterone. Like, a lot of dudes, like, I'll notice there's, like, dudes out there that will be like, oh, dude, I think my testosterone's low. And I'll be like, oh, shit, so, like, what have you been doing to, like, get it up? They're like, oh, I'm getting a test. I'm like, oh, shit, you got a test? They're like, yeah. And they're like, okay. I'm like, what have you been doing to get it up? And they're like, oh, like, well, I'll get it back in, like, a month. And I'm like, okay, well, what have you been doing to get it up? And they're like, oh, well, I'll see once I get it back, like, where it's at. I'm like, so you're going to take these next 2 months of waiting for your testosterone to come back and not do anything to try to raise it? You're not going to do anything? You're going to wait for the result to come back before you do anything? Like, you already know it's low. You already know it's low. That's why you fucking are getting it tested in the first place. Okay? So why are you not actively trying to constantly raise your testosterone? Okay? Like, it makes no sense. And if you give me some bullshit like, well, if I raise it, then I won't know the accurate number that I had before. It's like, okay. So you literally actively figured out how to raise it by tricking yourself and manipulating your brain. Why would you not do that? Like, it makes no sense. Tell me a couple lines from him. Okay. Well, the brain rot he uses is his grading scale for, like, looks. He uses this thing called PSL, and he'll use, like, HTN, LTN, Chad Light, Normie. So basically, it'll be, like, low-tier Normie, high-tier Normie, mid-tier Normie, Chad Light, and, like, it's a specific grading scale. That's the brain rot part of it. He just basically talks about how looks are basically everything in life, which I don't think is true, but for him, he really does. And he thinks that, all the micro interactions in your life are going to be a lot better when you're more attractive. So for him personally, he's like, for a better life experience on a micro level, I he's like, I'm going to do this, for love experience, for all these different things. And I mean, I understand the idea of like upgrading yourself for better human experience and more dopamine, but I just disagree with his ways of doing it. Which guy are you talking about? Sounds like a looks max idiot. I'm talking about Clav. He's probably the most known looks maxer. Even though he's not the best looking one, he's the most like known because of how like just funny and just like his ability to display his autism in a way that's so like just interesting is and entertaining is honestly great. Like I just like he's also entertaining and there's no denying that. And I think that's very important to become big is like to have that polarity, or I guess not polarity, that's not the word. Just that like trifecta of the ability to be smart, entertaining, and like, valuable, I guess. Can I tell you something? Being in the mafia would low key be a little fun. I agree. There's one super toxic rude face IQ keeps bragging that he's 6'5". Face IQ? I don't know what that is. I'll tell you though, when it comes to looks maxing, like I know we talk about this like in such a funny way. But the truth is, status maxing is the fucking that's the number one. Status maxing is going to get like people think that looks maxing is going to get like female obsession. Like it's up there. It's part of it. But status maxing and obviously, testosterone maxing and um also just practicing in general maxing. Face IQ, he's like one of the most brutal looks maxing YouTubers. I think I know who he is. I just love when they say brutal so quickly. Like I saw one AI guy. Okay, there was this AI kid where he just like walked into high school and he's just like your maxilla is 75% off brutal. He just goes to the next one. He's just like the way he talks. I don't know why it's so funny. It shouldn't be funny. I feel like people that maybe aren't as good looking might not find looks maxing jokes as funny. Or they might find them just as funny, maybe even more. I don't know. It depends on your sense of humor. But the AI version of it was just like he was like you're a mid tier normie, brutal, and then he's like you're a Chad, like come here. He's like what the fuck. But they'll use words like brutal and cope so much, and I just like I don't know why. Why do those words? They're just like so funny. Why are they used so much? And they say it so quickly and decisively and sure of themselves, like brutal, brutal, cope, like, uh, yeah, I've seen AI. It's really funny as hell. There's more. It's over. Yeah, it's over, dude. It's over. The truth is, for most guys, it really isn't over. I've noticed, like, for most guys, either they have height and then their fucking face card shit, but that's their fault, or they don't have height but they have a good face card. You know what I mean? Like, if like a dude, like it's not very likely that some dude's gonna be shorter and not have a good face card, but when they do, they're usually like there's something like usually like wrong with their personality. I don't know. Like, that's what I notice at least. Like, there's always like something where there's like a victim mentality going on. I don't know why. But, you know, because I honestly think every dude can get their face card on point, at least to a certain extent. I mean, you get your face lean, you get it, if you're pale, you get it tanner, you shave the right way. Like, I don't understand how dudes can't look clean. I don't understand that because I'm dirty as fuck. I feel like I'm like one of the dirtiest people I know, and I still feel like I look cleaner than like 95% of dudes. And I don't know if it's because I prioritize like specific cleanliness that's way more of a like okay, picture this for example. Like there could be a 400-pound guy that showers 3 times a day, but he's 400 pounds, has really long hair and a long beard, and wears like baggy shirts. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna look grosser than me, who I could maybe not shower for like a month, but since I have, a shaved head, clean shaven, I have clear skin and no acne, people are just gonna look at me like, nah, he's cleaner. Like you could have a guy with a bunch of acne that showers 3 times a day, and you can have a guy with no acne that showers none, and they're gonna look at the guy with no acne and think he's cleaner. That's brutal. That's brutal. It's over. You know what I mean? I mean, the other thing they talk about is black pill, which is just, I don't even fucking know. It's so interesting. Like, and they talk about all these pills, dude. Like he's like he made a stream, and I swear to God, he's like, yeah, I got the money pill, then I got the status pill, then I got the clout pill, then I got the hype pill, then I got the like frame pill, and I was like, what the fuck are these pills, bro? Oh my God, raw brain rot, which actually sounds like a food. Raw brain rot. I want to say something. If you were a mafia boss, would you run the mafia? I wouldn't tell you. The fuck? But, I honestly would not want to be in the mafia. That's not me, personally. If I had a different childhood, then maybe. But my childhood was too good, so there's no point. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to be in the mafia for me. Because, like, I had a good life. Like, I don't have any, like, trying to hurt anyone. Or, like, like, obviously I'm trying to ascend, I'm trying to win. But my whole thing is, like, I'm not trying to do what needs to be done, like an Italian guy, like I take care of things. Like, that's not me. I'm more just like, fuck, dude. Like, just don't fuck with me, and, we'll be all good. But, like, also, like, don't fuck with me, What's good, little bro? What's good, bro? What up, what up? I have a math exam, multiple art assignments due tomorrow. I'm cooked. You watch The Boys? No, I don't. I just can't get over that video now. He's just like brutal. Like, your Maxilla is 75% off, brutal. It's over. Oh God, we've been on brain rot. There's like this video of just like this looks maxing like AI thing where this guy just goes like, he's just walking around a high school, he just starts looking at people, it goes, your maxilla specula is 75% off, brutal, you're a high tier normie, you're like something else, brutal, and then he's like, you're a Chad light, come here. Like, it's just something, like the way that he talks is like the way that a comment section of looks maxing videos would talk, and I don't know why, but it's so funny. He's like, brutal. Oh man, okay. I'm gonna stop laughing. Jake on brain rot before GTA 6. No, it's literally, but it's like, I don't know. I'm gonna go study. Bye. All right. Yeah, no, I'm probably into the stream, honestly. Haven't had too many people in here. We had a good boost in the beginning, I'll give you that, but other than that, not really a lot going on. One thing I noticed, most people won't even see the flaws we see in ourselves. That's true. That is very, very true. And that's what a lot of the looks maxers kind of, they don't understand because they're so deep into it. Because what will happen is, picture this. If you're a looks maxer and you're a dude, you might, like, wear makeup. I literally watched the guy talk about how he wears makeup. That's fucking, we don't need to talk about it, but it's fucking whatever. He can do what he wants, I guess. I'm not doing that shit. What the fuck? Fucking what the fuck? But that's what he does. You know what I mean? And the thing is, if he were to go out and not wear makeup, he'd be like, bro, like, I don't look as good. Like, people probably think I'm so ugly. And it's like, no. Like, you look normal. People think you look normal. Like, you've just had this extreme version of yourself that you've had, and now, like, I feel like anybody can go to the local Walmart and feel pretty damn attractive. Maybe that's just me personally, but I just feel like the second, like, you walk into, like, a Walmart or, like, I don't know if you guys know of Fry's, you see the people in there, you're just like, what the fuck? Bye-bye, Bill. Because I was super insecure. Like, my side profile ain't good, but I was like, I never noticed and imagine a side pro of a person. A lot of people don't think about these things. That's the thing, is like a lot of people really don't think about these things at all. I think there's like a small percentage of people that think about it, and then they think about it to the extreme, uh like, they just think about it in extreme ways because they're in their little echo chamber. Like, I don't think a lot of people think about looks like that. Maybe internally, but not like externally. Like, people aren't walking around like that AI video that I was laughing about where he's like, your Maxilla is 75% off, brutal. Good morning, brother. Haha, don't come here for motivation. Haha, no they don't. No they don't what? Bro just came in here and started disagreeing. I would just say it ain't healthy way to live life. I agree to a certain extent that, like, that mindset overall is probably not the healthiest way to live, because if you look at these people and how they think in their videos, they're like crashing out all the time. They're like complaining and shit. Like, he literally has a video 2 weeks ago complaining about dating and shit. It's like, isn't the whole point of your whole looks maxing thing is that you're supposed to have like no problems in dating? Isn't that why you pay all this money and do all this shit? Like, so it doesn't really make sense sometimes with that shit, you know. Do you want to hear how Mafia walking into Walmart and think people care two shits about you is wild? No, I'm telling you, most people don't give a fuck. Most people don't give a fuck. I'm here to tell you, I know most people are not thinking about anything. Most people, 40% of 30 to 40% of people don't even have an inner monologue. Most people don't even know what the fuck is going on. I'm saying most people don't give a fuck. But I'm saying there is a small percentage of people in the world that really do give a fuck. And I guess you'll notice them more at high-end, clubs or, fashion shit, model events, shit like that. But, yeah, no, you're right. Most people do not give a fuck. But, I mean, that still happens. There are still people that do walk into Walmart just to feel like that. There are people that do literally walk into Walmart just to feel better. I saw a TikTok of someone saying, hey, if you're feeling insecure, just walk into a Walmart. You'll feel better about yourself. Well, we will improve ourselves, but by improving our diet and going to the gym, not worrying about gonal angle of a jaw. I know these words that they learn is fucking crazy. These people learn like muscles of a face that they would never, ever learn unless they gave a fuck. Pineapple juice, I'm one of those. I gained some weight. I'm going on a run. LOL. Hell, good stuff. Hell yeah, good stuff. No, that's fire. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, but you have to understand, like, no, like, the people that don't care, like, really don't give a fuck. And, they could care more. Also, if you're ugly, it ain't gonna make too much of a difference. If you're super attractive, then that makes a lot of difference. Yeah, but the truth is, like, low-key, like, you can talk about all the looks maxing stuff and all that, but truth is, bro, I just think I think the world got way too consumed in it. I think the world got way too consumed in the idea. I think social media kind of fucked everything up with that whole situation. Because, I mean, you've never had more kids on steroids or young men on steroids ever. You never had more women, like, doing all this different stuff to, make their body look better. So, no. We're living in a time where we are the highest obesity while also having the most fit people ever. So there's a big gap. And that's why I think looks maxing actually became very popular, because this gap has become so wide, especially for dudes. So it's like, here's the thing though. Like, if you're an ugly woman, to a certain extent, you're still going to get a level of attention. Maybe it's not good attention, probably isn't, but it's still attention. But if you're an ugly dude, there's a chance that you literally will receive zero attention. Like, it's quite brutal. The reason they use the word brutal is because it's very brutal. And you have to understand something too about men. Most of the men that are going through these issues don't want to talk about the fact that they're going through these issues. And here's why. First off, if a dude is like complaining that he's having, bad dating or dating situations, he's going to feel like a fucking loser. So a lot of dudes don't talk about this shit because it makes them feel like a loser. So they want to avoid feeling like a loser. So then they never actually ascend. And that's very sad. Holy shit, Jake, guess how many subs I have? I don't know. Alright, but now I'm actually done with this stream, because I don't know why I was just not going to do it, then start... Fuck, I can't even talk. Alright, peace out, y'all. Have a great rest of your day.